Hello.
We're here again. They haven't kicked us out yet.
Oh,
Al
they're
Gore,
gonna kick me out
Al
soon,
Gore,
eventually.
Al Gore built this specifically for us. He knew this day would come.
We're in the tubes.
How you doing, buddy?
Good.
Yeah, that's good.
Back in North Carolina, man.
Yay! How was Dallas? I haven't directly talked to any of you, other than like since then.
Dallas was a good time. We ate a lot of bacon.
I saw fucking bacon flights, dude.
Yeah,
It's so awesome, though.
it was the first place we found when we got into town, and we pretty much never left there.
What is the luck of like the first thing you find is a bacon flight?
Well, yeah, I mean, we had heard that they were one of the better breweries around, so we're like, all right, that's cool.
Yeah,
And they did. They had great beer.
that's
Um,
good.
I can't think of the name of the New England IPA they had, but it had all of the flavor, which I think we drank so much of they ran out of the final night that we were there.
Of
Um,
course.
but yeah, it was cool. The Dallas's arena, the American Airlines Center, I think it's called.
Hmm.
Um, Weird. I mean, it's huge, but it's laid out. It's almost like a hotel the way like certain things are laid out.
Yeah, I've only ever seen like that entrance where I don't know if they're like the two office buildings, like the kind of the alleyway that leads into the main entrance there. I guess where FanFest was this year.
Yeah. Um, Now, when you're in, it's like when you're going around the concourse or whatever. It's mall like in some aspects. It's very well lit. It's very
Hmm.
um, but yeah, you go into the bathrooms or things like that, and it's just it's oddly. I mean, the bathrooms are huge. They're just oddly shaped in all different directions. It's like it's not meant to be round. So it's kind of a roundabout thing, but everything kind of goes off, and they use all the corner space that they get with the. I don't know. It's set up a little bit differently.
Huh.
They have Playa Merch, which is a refreshing change from Chicago because last year I went to go buy T-shirts and lanyards and crap like that, and we didn't do it the first day because we were kind of trying to get our stuff, and then the second day it was all gone. This was not the case in Dallas. Dallas had merch tables pretty much everywhere you turned, and
That's good. Well,
yeah,
good.
so
It definitely
they
seemed like you guys had a really good time. So,
yeah they did a good job. I think we entertained our the newcomers well enough.
oh, good.
Uh,
I, I
if he's listening or whatever, overly optimistic Kane or optimistic Caniac,
mm-hmm.
I think is his Twitter handle.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna name drop his actual name, but I think he had a good time. He drove down from Austin to hang with us, and we had Dan and Ashley with us, and they had a good time. Yeah, I mean,
Awesome.
Meg was a first timer, so she got to deal with us.
Maybe I'll make the trek up to Canada next year.
Yeah, you might be taking my place, so I don't
Excited
know how
for
the hell I'm going to get to Canada.
it. Over the border, generally in a plane.
Yeah, but it's
Vancouver.
far,
It is far. It's
and
far, Canada.
my son's going to kick my ass if I don't take him to a draft soon.
It's not even like Montreal where it's like close Canada. This is far Canada.
No, this is the furthest, practically the furthest Canada. I mean, not like Calgary, where very far away Canada,
Yeah.
like not north far, but
Right.
it's 3 time zones far.
So what are we talking about tonight? Other than the bit you proposed. I don't want to spoil that
Right.
yet.
Well, the cable deal's official
Yep.
now,
Figured we'd do
so that's
that.
been announced.
Uh
Um,
Nakamura getting bit in the leg by a police dog.
yeah,
um let's see. Bailey turning heel or not? Maybe question mark, possibly exclamation point, ampersand.
Team Hell No returning.
Yeah.
Let's see.
The UK tournament.
Yeah.
I haven't watched any of it yet. Have you?
Nope.
Okay. Well.
Haven't watched the Hardy series either, so
I
can't
shit.
take that
That's what we were supposed to watch. I was sitting here like an hour ago, and I was like, I feel like there was something Tom was supposed to watch. I totally forgot it was that, and I was supposed to watch it too.
Blame it on me.
Hey, I admitted it. Kevin Owens being serenaded by Shania Twain.
But not the song he wanted.
Nope. And turning heel while going through the crowd, which I greatly enjoyed. We'll make it. We can just...
Yeah, there was something else too. Maybe it'll come to me. Maybe it won't. But we covered Vader.
Vader and Cass was last week. No one's been fired this week, fortunately. Cool.
Yeah.
Fun.
I think that's it.
I feel like I should get a beer before this one. Should I get a beer?
I don't know. I'll just keep drinking this fruit punch / lemonade mixture.
I have water, but I think I should get beer. I feel like this is a beer kind of episode. I don't know why. I don't know what makes this a beer episode, but just have that innate feeling. So I'm gonna go do that.
And this is why you go on Twitch early, is to see this exciting behind the scenes, behind the curtain.
Into the frame here. Yeah, forgot I had
the quality Faces of Fear t-shirt.
Yeah, right? I like this one. I dig this one. I forgot I should totally use my Bangin' Awesome. I'll show it to this stream, then I'll show it to you. Chucky T and Trent best friends coaster / bottle opener.
Ooh.
All right.
Very nice.
Yeah.
You get a lot of quality crap in those boxes.
Yeah, Pro Wrestling Crate, man. If you ever want to sponsor us, please. I could use more. That's where this t-shirt came from. That's where this coaster opener came from.
I will also wear the merch.
Dude.
ProWrestlingTees.com.
It's the best. All right. How much noise does this coaster make? Okay. It's quiet.
Yeah.
Unless I really force the bottle down, but if I'm being aware of it, it's nice.
Yeah.
Thrilling. It is thrilling. All right. Are you ready to... Oh, I should make sure you can hear this. Play, goddammit.
You're listening to the Cheaters Never Pin podcast.
Yeah. That worked. I'm assuming that worked.
I drank all my drink already.
Oh.
It was really
Do you
good,
need
though.
to top off before we start?
Nah, it's okay.
Okay. Well, what do you say we talk about wrestling?
Sure, why not?
Let's do it. Here we go. Hey, Tom.
Hey, JC.
Welcome back to the States, buddy.
I was in the States before, but maybe not this one.
But, I mean, it's Texas. Does that count?
It's kind of like Mexico, but not really.
That's true.
It was hot as balls, though.
It's been hot as balls here. You didn't miss anything there. Hey, at least it finally rained yesterday.
That keeps my lawn from catching on fire, so that helps out.
Spontaneous combustion never wins. The podcast.
This is also my sixth podcast in, I think, a week.
Yeah, so Tom's already burnt out. I'm really exhausted for some reason tonight. I don't know why, but that's a thing. But we're going to sit here and talk about wrestling anyway. Isn't that right, Tom?
That's what we do on Wednesdays.
That's right, buddy. We're going to talk about dogs.
And why they don't like Japanese people, apparently.
Dogs are racist. We could talk about Bailey.
She don't want to hug you no more, bro.
We can talk about the UK tournament.
Jolly good banger, bloody old boy.
All right. And all other wrestling things.
We'll make some stuff up along the way.
We will. So let's do that. Hey, Tom, I need you to do me a favor before we do that, buddy.
What's that, Jason?
Ring that damn bell.
Will do.
You're listening to the Cheaters Never Pin podcast, a proud part of the Section 328 network, bringing you all the best in wrestling from WWE, New Japan, and beyond. Now, live from ringside, it's Mr. Workrate and JC.
Oh, boy, as you know it, it's your boys. I just started like a YouTuber. It's your boys.
It's your boy.
It's your boy, the Cheaters Never Pin podcast.
I use that all the time with my children, and I get the same look every time.
Oh my God, saying it is as annoying as watching it too. I hated
It's your boy.
That's why I had to stop as soon as it came out of my mouth. I hated it. This is the Cheaters Never Pin podcast, also available on YouTube. I'm JC.
Your boy.
Where your boy JC sitting here next to his boy at the commentary table to the stars, Mr. Workrate Tom.
Yo, if you liking this, click on that thumbs up.
Yo, smash that subscribe button.
Smash that subscribe button. Yeah.
Hype.
Your boy.
Anyway, oh God. Did we just show our age?
Yeah, boy.
Yes, children.
This is the sixth podcast I've done. One of which doesn't count because it was so bad that we literally just will not acknowledge it ever exists again.
I still have yet to listen to either of the drunk podcasts. I'm going to get around to it probably tomorrow.
Well, again, there is a bonus, and I don't know if it'll ever be released or if Derek just hit the delete button immediately. We recorded a drunk podcast that was so bad, we figured no one outside of the people that were in that room would ever enjoy
I
it.
still want to hear it.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of hoping that he saved it, because it'd be great as an in-joke. It's not even good for Patreons. Go to cheatersneverpin.com, click on the Patreon button, help us out, throw us a few bucks our way.
Yeah.
And you can get this quality content that I'm talking about that has nothing to do with wrestling whatsoever.
But that reminds me, if we just did the drunk hockey draft podcast,
Yes.
it's almost time to do the drunk wrestling podcast again, Tom.
It is.
Speaking of podcasts that were completely unintelligible at the time of recording. We're going to get a handle on that this year.
In that drunk podcast that we recorded down in Dallas, we're also participants in our drunk wrestling podcast.
1. 2, counting you. I wasn't counting you, but
okay.
I figured
So,
you were
yes.
assumed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we need to rally the horses and find something to watch.
Yeah.
Do some
So if you're listening and you've got ideas, shoot us a message over on the Twitter machine, Cheaters NVR Pin, and make a suggestion what you'd love to hear us watch for the Drunk Podcast.
Yeah, we can get on that in the next month or so.
Yeah, we
Knock
got
it
time.
out. Yes. Yeah, and if you want to hear it, then you go to patreon.com/section328 or go to cheatersneverpin.com. Click the Patreon button on the front page and toss a few ducats our way, and he will have access to our drunken ramblings.
Yeah, it's cheap. It's not like one of those things where we charge you like $1 for every podcast we put out, and then we'll decide to put out 8 like tiny crappy podcasts and get $8 out of your pocket when you only intended to do $1 a month. You can do $1 a month if you want to. You're not going to get any free stuff like cool Section 328 T-shirts or anything like that. But you know, if $1 is what you got to donate, $1 is good, man. We will take anything.
Smash that Patreon
We
button.
appreciate the fact that you're willing to give us any of your hard-earned money.
SummerSlam. The suggestion was already made in the Twitch chat at twitch.tv/cheatersnvrpin. We do SummerSlam drunk. All right. That's going to be an issue because SummerSlam is going to be 35 hours long.
Someone's gonna die. Yeah, the goal of the Drunk Podcast is to find something that's short enough, or at least that we can kind of trim down. We did 3 hours. We did a 3-hour pay-per-view last time, which was
17.
Long enough to begin with.
Ooh, yeah.
And 17 should have been longer than that, so I don't know if we
Did they cut
kind of
stuff out?
fast-forwarded through something or
I don't remember.
slept through something. I don't know.
Who knows? We only sleep.
But yeah,
Tom, we only sleep through Wrestle Kingdom.
yes.
Um,
That's only through like one match.
Yeah. And then you sleep through one, then I sleep through one, then you sleep through one. And then by the end, we have one full picture of Wrestle Kingdom.
There we go.
So that's a thing. Coming to your ears soon.
Getting those plugs out of the way early.
That's going to be... that SummerSlam week this year is going to be a long one for me. Because you know where the Go Home Raw for SummerSlam is this year?
No.
Greensboro, North Carolina.
Lord.
So I will be making the trek.
Yeah, I will not.
I mean, I'll get to see Brock and Ronda. Maybe Brock. I don't know. Does he show up ever? Who the fuck knows? Oh, can we talk about that shit? We left that off the what are we prepping for part of the show.
Oh, okay.
But let's talk about last week. We find out that there's going to be a multi-man number one contenders match at Extreme Rules. By order of Stephanie McMahon to determine the number one contender for Brock. And then this week they're like, nah, never mind. Whatever this bullshit fake, his contract wouldn't allow it stuff is. So are we just handing Roman the slot this time? Because that's worse.
God damn it, you'll love it. He's gonna be a face.
And you get
Girls, the kids, they love him.
like how
Look at those
disappointing.
action figures.
How disappointing is it that they dropped that? I was kind of looking forward to it.
I'm not looking forward to anything. I just want it to end at this point. And it doesn't really matter because it's going to end up going to
Bobby
Braun
Lashley.
somehow.
No. Yeah.
Braun's just pretty much sitting at like the entranceway waiting for Lesnar to one day show up. He's probably outside his house right now.
The worst case scenario here is that Vince finally books Roman over Braun. Then Braun cashes in and Roman pins him. Oh my God. The anger. Reddit may actually melt. Like for real, the servers may melt from just the string of comments coming in at just a rapid pace. Hashtag cancel WWE Network.
And they'll say it and then they'll keep watching.
Yeah. I mean, I bitch about it enough, but I'm never going to be like, I'm going to stop watching this shit. Like, I'm just never going to do that. Even in the bad, there's good.
And see, it's kind of the thing about being a wrestling fan is there is a difference between things you don't like and things you dislike. Like, you may not like the particular story that's being told or direction it goes in. That's like any kind of like media. Like, you don't like the path the 9th season of Friends went down. You don't like when the ending of How I Met Your Mother. There are things that you're not going to like, but you don't like completely abandon the product. But then there are things that make you completely abandon a product. Offensive things like, if they started doing racist angles or they started doing anti-women angles or something along those lines, where
you could reboot a TV show where the main characters just all over Trump's jock all the time, and then they cancel that one and they reboot it without that character.
I have no idea.
I'm just spitballing here.
You're referring to SmackDown, right?
Yes.
Okay. You just described Vince McMahon.
So let's talk about
or
the
Linda McMahon, technically.
Well, yeah. Well, she's on the cabinet.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, Linda, we're a small business, technically. Come administrate. So let's talk about the good things then this week. Because, you know what?
Alright.
I think there were a lot of good things this week.
Okay.
One, Bailey lost her shit, and it was amazing.
I had been dreading this, personally. Because, again, I've seen Sasha as a heel. Sasha's a great heel. And they've been building this whole thing. And it's always been, well, Bailey can't be a heel. Bailey's too super babyface. Like, you can't. I wasn't expecting Bailey to go, like, full Backlund.
I don't think Bailey's a heel, though. I don't think that's the angle here. I think the angle here is she was sick and fed up. I mean, it's very similar to, like, all right, let's compare it to NXT. Let's take Gargano pulling Ciampa off the stretcher. Like, that's not a babyface move. And he's fed up and sick and tired of Ciampa's shit. And he lost it on him.
I mean, the turn is one thing, and we'll call it the turn. Not that people listening to the podcast can see my air quotes, but
Air quotes.
we'll call it the turn. But it all depends on how it gets booked, obviously, after the fact, because you can have a turn like this where, similar to Bret Hart, where Bret Hart kind of snaps and gets frustrated because he is frustrated, and then they milk that into the whole anti-American angle and turns him flat out heel, which he was kind of becoming anyway, kind of indirectly. Or you can have it happen and kind of get, I don't know, ignored. I know there's some people, and I cannot think of examples right now, but like almost kind of quasi-turns where they turned him and then they just don't follow through with him doing necessarily heel-like things after the fact, but just change in attitude. And I don't know. But I think one thing's for sure, we're not seeing traditional Bailey anymore.
No, I don't think so. And that's a good thing.
Is he crying?
I hope so.
Boo.
She was so stale.
Oh yeah.
Like you think about the pops Bailey used to get when she first came up to the main roster, right? Like the crowd was on fire for her.
Dude, remember when Sasha introduced her?
Yeah.
And Sasha couldn't keep a straight face. How, like, you could see Sasha was so happy seeing her come out and how the crowd reacted to her.
Yeah.
You couldn't not smile at that.
She was just so terribly mishandled.
Yeah.
The whole "I'm just happy to be here" gimmick did not work for 2 years straight. Like, which fortunately they moved off of it from Ronda. Because it was about to ruin Ronda, too. We weren't that far behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just glad to see Bailey with an edge. And then Bailey cursing on live television. That's the best part. Her yelling, "Eat shit, Sasha." Awesome. So, yeah, that's a good thing. Other good things. Constable Corbin. Let me be fully on board now with Constable Corbin. The minute it started, I criticized it on Twitter because they used the word constable, right? I still hate that. I still think that's dumb as shit, right? But he pulls this off so well.
TGI Fridays for Corbin.
Oh my God, it was such a good line. And it was relatively, and then the second jab about you don't have enough flair on. One, he looks better, not just the hair, but the whole presentation of him in the vest and the shirt and the pants. It's just, it makes him, it feels like that character's got more gravitas to it now than just being another guy in shirt and pants made of mini pants.
Yeah, it's the thing with Corbin and the vibe that he gives off. Like they pretty much gave him this biker like look, and this biker vibe, which he pulled off the look. He didn't pull off the vibe. He's not, he's not a badass. He's not a DOA or, like, looks like he's got Nazi tattoos hiding under his vest or anything like
Harris
that.
Brothers.
He's a dick. That's what Baron Corbin is. He's not a biker and he's not a badass. He's a dick.
Yeah.
He seems like somebody who, like, and this would be the total heel thing to do, like in the world of 2018. He seems like the guy that would totally be on Twitter trashing everyone, doing whatever, and then you actually go to meet him and he's just like, oh, what are you talking about, bro?
Right.
I didn't write that. He's the Doug Holt of the WWE.
Yep.
Please don't kick my ass, sir.
Yeah, I'd like to see that happen. I'd actually pay money.
There are a lot of people that would pay money to see that happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I just dig him overall now. Him and Kurt have really good chemistry together too on screen. I think they play off of each other really well. Which
is good because Kurt doesn't have that much chemistry with anybody nowadays.
Kurt is a mutter and stutter and fool. I don't know if it's like him trying to memorize the lines is not working well or what. Kurt's inability to talk on a weekly basis is something I look forward to when I wake up every Monday morning.
It's sad because we looked at Mick, and when Mick got kind of rolled out of the position, we were just like, I don't know if this really works with him and Stephanie. And then when we found out that Angle was getting put into the next video game, it's like, oh, obviously Angle's going to come back now, and it'll be a perfect role for him. Put him in a role, and it's like, what the hell's happening?
Yeah.
It's like we're watching CTE happen in live.
It's not, wow. I mean, it's not a bad fit. It's not a bad fit. It's just, it's okay. Let's see. What else? What else is there, Tom? Where else were we talking about? I already forgot. This week was, while there were good things that were happening, a lot was forgettable.
Yeah, I didn't write anything down. I assumed you got like a little desk or whatever. I'm sitting on my kid's floor.
Yeah, I'm sitting here in the studio.
Yeah.
Let's see. Maurice became a U.S. citizen today.
Oh, I thought you said Maurice. I was like, the Space Cowboy?
Yes. Only some call her that, though.
No.
I prefer to call her a Gangster of Love.
Mike the Miz's baby mama.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep. Nakamura got bit by a dog. That's not good. So.
No, that's that kind of screwed up SmackDown yesterday.
Yes. So I guess Monday night at the house show, the bomb sniffing dogs were out, and apparently one of them got near Nakamura and was like, "Nah, I ain't having this," and bit him.
And Nakamura attempted to punch the dog in the nuts, but they fixed those dogs, so it didn't really do anything.
So that's why he is out of action for an indeterminate amount of time. We actually don't even know if he'll make the Japan tour, apparently. Which is this weekend. So I would assume, I mean, they didn't make a huge deal out of it, so I'm going to assume it wasn't a super major bite, and they were just giving him the time off to rest up for this weekend. Because they need him. It's the Japan tour.
I mean, he'll be all over otherwise if he can't wrestle per se.
Oh, yeah. He'll still be there. So that's a thing. That's why I titled this the Dog Bite Edition.
Yeah, can you explain last week's title, by the way?
You went on that entire tangent in Vince's voice about, I need a boat to drag this boat.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, it was a thing. Because I was sitting here after we got off the line. I was like, what the? Which let's pull back the curtain for a second, folks. Usually we try to, about 50% of the time we actually discuss, what the hell are we going to name this thing? And then the other 50% of the time I hang up and then go, damn it, I got to name this thing. Last week was the latter.
Yeah. Well, it's because I had to get off the line relatively quick because I had to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to get on a flight.
But yeah, that's the explanation for the Boats for Boats edition. 1877 Boats for Boats.
God damn it, that's catchy.
Get those children.
Put a boat on a boat.
Let's see. What else is there, Tom?
I mean, it's not news necessarily, but I officially made my pre-order for Fire Pro.
Nice. I've not pre-ordered it yet. I'm waiting to see if the special edition they launched in Japan is going to come stateside, or a version of it.
I don't think it's going to.
Probably not. And I'm also debating on if I want to order a disc version or not.
Well, apparently the disc version, or at least the first run of the disc version, is going to come with a booklet of some variety.
Okay, I'm in. I didn't know that.
It may be a disappointing book that only has, it's like an instruction book type thing, but supposedly, I'll find that link somewhere, but
yeah, there's
a bonus booklet of New Japan people, and the actual New Japan people will be on the cover.
Yes, it was Tanahashi, Okada, Kenny, and
Naito.
Yep, thank you. Doing the thing with his eye. Oh yeah, the other good thing.
For those of you not on Twitch, JC just did the thing with his eye. Yeah.
Which is also my Skype icon. Did you see when you called me?
Yeah.
Me doing that.
It took me a little while to kind of recognize it. Go, what the hell are you? Oh.
WWE made a shit ton of money officially.
Yes.
The 2019 media rights extension deals are complete in the United States. Raw will remain on the USA network. Congratulations, making way more money than it made for both shows before. And as we knew, or as was, reported and all but confirmed, SmackDown Live is moving to Friday nights on the Fox network beginning October 4th, 2019. Fuck you. Now I have to not do anything on Friday nights, WWE. Really? And now it's like a pay-per-view weekend for the Big Four. Each your entire fucking weekend.
Yeah.
At least you had Fridays before.
But now you have Friday. Now you have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
And let's think about WrestleMania weekend.
When are we gonna? The thing is, if you're running it live on Fridays, what are you gonna? Friday was always kind of put aside for the Evolve show or.
Well, Friday recently has been Hall of Fame. So what they did, I mean, at least in years past, and this was before the brand split when it wasn't live. It was a pre-taped kind of, here's a preview of WrestleMania edition of the show. I could see them pre-taping it.
Yeah.
A version that's, a go-home show that's not super involved. Because they know people will be watching Hall of Fame and things like that. So.
Now, did they put... Well, Hall of Fame show starts... Is that like an 8 o'clock start?
Yeah, it's 8 to 4 in the morning.
Okay.
It's always way too long. I love watching the Hall of Fame every year. But God, let's put a time limit on these people.
It depends.
The headliner should be allowed to go as long as they want. Everybody else gets 10 minutes. And the person inducting them gets 2. Dana Warrior, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Keep it tight. Keep it tight.
I don't know. I get the ability to override some of those because there are certain people I can listen to talk forever.
I mean, I could too, but At the same time, that's a miserable experience for the people in the arena. It's a miserable experience sitting at home watching it. It's hard to stay drunk for like 6 hours at the level I want to stay drunk, Tom.
Fuck that. Paul Heyman will talk for 35 minutes and you'll be enthralled.
No, I won't. For 5 of that, maybe. Why do you think his promos are never 30, super long?
Fine. Cornette will do it for 35 minutes.
Goddamn, back when I was in Louisville, things were better, motherfucker. Not these fucking vanilla midget bullshit.
It was funny.
Here's the Rock and Roll Express.
Anyway, so going back into hockey for a second, I swear there's a segue here. There was news that was announced. Free agency starts on July 1st, which is Sunday, but a few agreed upon negotiations have already leaked out. One is Jack Johnson, formerly of the Columbus Blue Jackets, was finally signed by Jim Rutherford. Yeah, he had a little issue with that when Jack Johnson was a Carolina Hurricanes draftee.
Yeah.
But it got us Tim Gleason. But anyway.
Yeah, it worked out okay.
Yeah. Especially since Jack Johnson is a horrible hockey player. Anyway, he is signing with the Pittsburgh Penguins for 5 years. And I believe $16 million. So, but that news was broke by one Mark Madden, formerly of WCW, but Pittsburgh radio personality, who was doing Nitro, basically took over in the Bobby Heenan role on Nitro.
Oh, yeah.
99, 2000 or so.
Yeah.
But when that news came out, I had to put on Twitter my favorite Mark Madden moment, which was when on Nitro, Tank Abbott came down to ringside and proceeded to beat the shit out of him. Because I can't stand Mark Madden. I mean, he ripped his clothes off and just started wailing on him. It was fun. And then another one of the members of Twitter said, "Oh, well, if you're going to post that, post Cornette's shoot on Mark Madden," which I posted, but of course had to put a not safe for work tag on it because
you think?
Cornette, when he starts shooting on people, tends to get a bit blue.
Did you hear Cornette shooting on Enzo's rap song?
No.
Yes. Seek that out and find it. It's him listening to it and commenting on it.
I want a Jim Cornette rap song.
As much as I hate Cornette, like, perfect. So great.
There are parts of me that love him, and there are parts of me that just wish he'd get into the 21st century.
I respect him immensely for his contributions to the business, but I hate him as a human being that thinks he's got to be working 24 hours a fucking day.
Yeah.
Which I realize is very old school of him. God damn, that's how we did it back in... They fucking slashed my tires because I'd be out and I was always working. I had to get a fucking police escort out of fucking town. God damn. I don't know why that impression works so well. Thank you, Bruce Pritchard.
The rat died.
God damn, he's dead. But that impression, it sounds nothing like Cornette, but it encapsulates Cornette.
Yeah,
There's only one other impression I know of that does that, of a professional wrestling person.
Yeah.
You know where this is going, Dom. You already knew.
Because they both sound like a child molester in some way.
Hey, before we do a game you proposed to wrap up the show, we'll do that last. I think you know what time it is.
What's that, JC?
It's time for Pin Mail.
Do we have a theme this evening?
Let's see. Lana.
I don't actually know Lana's theme.
Just say Pin Mail a bunch in Russian.
I don't actually know Russian. I'm
Say it
learning.
with a Russian accent.
Okay, I'll do it in the Rock and Roll Express theme.
Oh, there we go. All right, that works.
Pinameno, 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 Pinameno. Anyway.
Show's off the rails tonight.
Yeah.
Let's see. We have one pin mail. Oh no, there's two of them. Here we go. One.
You have to tell them to me because you're looking and I don't see them.
God damn it, Tom! Just read what I'm reading. From our good buddy Derek at DWrestle on the Twitter machine. Other than suicide dives, what needs to be scaled back in WWE? What move needs to be scaled back in WWE? It's not a move, but having a knee injury spot in a match as a reason for a babyface to lose. Like, oh my God, their knee gave out. Like, stop. It happens like twice per televised show. I'm going to go with knee injury spot. It's not a move. I'll think of a move, though.
Okay. I need them to get rid of the constant apron spots. I understand it's the hardest part of the ring, but I don't like the constant use of them, and just once in a while it looks impressive, but now it's completely getting overdone to the point of it's losing what could be a move that actually has some sort of danger for injury, is now being overdone to the point where it's either the impact of it's being lessened. So when you have a move that puts the risk up for actual legitimate injury, it should only be done every once in a while, so that as you're watching it, you're turning around and going, oh shit, I can't believe they actually did that. You shouldn't do that, that type of thing. If you're constantly doing those moves, you just kind of shrug it off and go, he'll be fine, when you're putting yourself more at risk. So tone him down a little bit. But then again, I'm the ancient person who hates ladder matches, so.
The actual move I want to see toned down, and multiple superstars do it, but anything that involves me hitting you 10 times while the crowd counts to 10 is dumb. Because if I have you mounted and I'm punching you in the face 10 times with a closed fist, which apparently is legal, I'm going to hit...
By the way, this is in JC's Tinder profile. As I'm mounting you, punching you in the face 10 times.
It is. Swipe right, baby.
Which is legal.
You're
like MMA is legal.
Right. You're probably gonna get some color. It's just never believable. And I'm also not gonna stand there for all 10 of them. Like when Sheamus does the 10 beats of the Baldwin and they've got their arms wrapped around the back. Like they're not trapped. Why are we pretend like there's nothing holding you there? Move. It just annoys me.
It's BDSM.
Yeah. Next piece of pin mail from Noah's Ark 84 at Inlock716 on the Twitter. Thoughts on how Daniel Bryan has been used since returning? ? Personally marked out a little to see a potential Team Hell No reunion. In parentheses.
Am I going first on this?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. It's been mixed for me. I think when we first saw him come back, it was the fear. It was kind of watching him in fear, going, "Oh crap! Is he going to hurt himself? Is he going to like every head spot was?" And we've gotten past that point now, and I still think at this point they're not really sure what to do with him. And I think so much has been built up, and we seem to think a lot of times that the shit's done on the fly. It's not done on the fly. A lot of the stuff is prepared months in advance. And it seems, it doesn't seem, it actually is, that Bryan got thrown into this pretty last minute with WrestleMania. So it's taking him time to get back into the mix, because I don't think they know necessarily what to do with him. at this point. So they're looking for things. The Cass thing was, I think, honestly, to give Cass some kind of rub and have him have some decent matches, and then things happened. So now they're sitting here with this completely marketable superstar, but absolutely no idea what to do with him because AJ's occupied all these dream matches that they were talking about for him. It's not at this point in time right for those things yet. AJ's doing something, Nakamura's doing something. All these guys are doing something right now. So what can you do? Well, we can bring Kane back and throw the little nostalgia at him. Why not?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they're also trying to figure out if he has any limitations while he's still shaking the ring rust, right? Figure out where his boundaries kind of are and what he's going to be able to do in a safe manner. So having him slowly kind of work up is good in case something happens. That way you're not screwed.
Right.
I also think telling the story of him kind of climbing back into position is a much more interesting story than if he had just come back, been thrust into the title picture and won, because then where do you go from that, right? Now you get the long-term, a very long-term story of, all right, well, he had to fight his way through NXT and then fight the Authority, and then he finally reached the pinnacle before he was injured, and now he's got to claw and scratch his way back to the top again. You get a lot more potential out of that build rather than just being like, all right, here's the title, Daniel. Have fun. So, and I think the pop is going to be bigger when he finally does do it rather than just being like, oh, cool, his first storyline back is for the title.
Yeah, it's going to be that build. It's going to be and potentially it may come out of nowhere. It may be a surprise opponent, somebody ends up let's just say AJ Nakamura, and Nakamura ends up getting hurt or something like that, and it's like, well, we don't have somebody as a competitor for you, and suddenly the music hits, and then people are going to lose their mind.
Yeah, and I think people have to realize too, there are always new viewers to the WWE product. So, and there are people that may have known Daniel Bryan as GM, but not as a wrestler. So now we've got to introduce him as that in-ring character. You're reintroducing him. So.
And if we're sticking to kayfabe, this is a guy who hasn't been wrestling for, 2 years or whatever, who's now coming back again. So he's not going to have him not wrestle for 2 years and then come in and beat everybody on top is going to make everybody on top look bad.
Yeah. So
the slow build is good.
Yeah, I'm 100% behind it. And you know what? The little Team Hell No thing, that's cool. I'm down for that. That's a good spot.
Yeah, I don't expect it to last 6 months or anything.
No, this is a 2 or 3 month arc because Kane's going to become mayor soon. Yeah. So probably 2 months, right?
Yeah, I don't expect it to last that long. 2 months is actually longer than I thought it would go. So
yeah, that's all the pin mail. Quiet down.
Keep sending in those questions.
Yeah, send them in as you're watching any wrestling all week. Use hashtag pin mail. Send them in at CheatersNVRPin. And we'll answer them here, or if you're in if you watch us live when we record the show Wednesdays, at twitch.tv/CheatersNVRPin, you can always drop them in the chat room.
Completely throw us off guard.
Yeah, just screw with my head. All right, so Tom, I'll let you introduce this bit because when we were texting this morning, you proposed a bit because we were like, if we need content, and I was like, yeah, we probably do. This was correct. Tom came up with a little game for us to play tonight, and that's how we're gonna end the show.
So. When we were in Dallas, we were talking about podcasts that we listen to, and apparently there's a podcast where all they do is they draft things. And, 1 week they just pick particular subjects, it could be, hated movie characters, or, favorite types of pasta, or, stupid shit. I made that last one up, but, yeah. But pretty much pop culture related things. I guess, favorite sports movies, things like that. So I figured we could do something like that here because if there's nothing podcasts do, it's steal other people's content.
Oh, yeah.
So I figured we'd start this series off, and I was thinking of subjects that we could do. And for tonight, we're going to draft, and I guess we'll do 5 rounds. 5 rounds seems like a
Yeah.
good amount. We'll draft 5 rounds worth of cruiserweight / junior heavyweight / 205 live type wrestlers that we would base our lighter wrestler division around. But the caveat to this is when you select these wrestlers, it doesn't have to be current. You can pick wrestlers from the past, but you have to specify what era or what kind of time frame that you're taking them from. So if you want, I don't know, Pat Patterson from 1979, you can take Pat Patterson 1979 because he's in Rio de Janeiro winning the Intercontinental title.
Right.
Should think that was 81, but anyway. So since I came up with the game, JC, I will allow you to go first, and we'll do it in a snake type draft, I guess. Or
Okay.
do you want to just go back and forth, 1 2 1 2 1 2?
I don't think we can probably just go back and forth.
Yeah, let's go back.
Because I feel like we're not going to hit each other's boards.
No, especially with the implication that you gave me. So,
Yeah.
But you get the first pick. I came up with the idea, so
Okay.
you go first.
Sure. My number 1 overall pick is Ricochet.
Okay. I guess
Because
current Ricochet, not like 3 years ago Ricochet or anything like that.
So, I mean, if I'm going to, be... I mean, technically it was Prince Puma at the time, but fucking Lucha Underground Season 1 all night long match, Prince Puma, Ricochet. Because that match was on fire. But I'll just take now Ricochet because Trevor is the same guy. So Ricochet.
All right. You know what my number 1 overall is going to be, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
I mean, do you want to... I wish we had his theme queued up, or I actually have it on my phone right now, but I won't play it for you. I will be selecting Jushin Thunder Liger circa, we'll go 95. But, I mean, just in that kind of era where he was the number 1 junior heavyweight in Japan and possibly the most popular wrestler over there at the time.
Okay.
Liger is what got me into junior style wrestling, and he wasn't necessarily a flippy type of wrestler. I mean, he did enough moves of that ilk, but he just, I mean, he had the look, he had the charisma, and he was a dickish face, which was, I think, one of the things that I liked best about him. And his matches with Pillman just got me all worked up. So that's my pick.
All right. My next pick. And I can't remember what chapter numbers, but from Progress, it's when he came back. And he was just the fucking dirtiest ass heel you've ever seen. Will Ospreay.
All right.
If the match he had during that time with Jimmy Havoc, which was the fans bring the weapons match, where somebody brought a fucking grandfather clock.
Wacky Britain.
Insanity. But Ospreay plays such a good dick heel. I was having this discussion with Derek earlier today on text, like Nakamura plays such a good dick heel. Ospreay's a good clean cut babyface, but when he's playing a dick heel, it's so perfect for him. So I want dick heel Ospreay.
Okay. My second pick, I'm taking...
Booyaka, 619.
No.
Ooh, I'm surprised.
No. I like him, but I do want that heel aspect. So I am going with Eddie Guerrero, circa. Let's go late 90s, pretty much in the El Gringos Locos /
All right.
ECW, WCW era.
I dig that.
I mean, that's Eddie's prime. I mean, I know a lot of people have seen him in WWF / WWE, and he was great in that time as well, especially with his world title run and things like that. But oh god, a lot of the stuff that he was doing in WCW, and again, watch When Worlds Collide, the AAA pay-per-view that WCW produced, where him and Art Barr took on is it Pentagon and El Hijo de Santo, I think it was. Oh god, the heat was off the charts, and I mean, he could work his ass off and completely get a crowd wanting to murder him.
Nice. I'm going way off the board. You ready for this one?
Okay.
The preeminent historical figure in UK light heavyweight wrestling, because I need a guy that can work on the mat.
Oh god, you're not.
I am picking Johnny Saint from the mid 70s. Like, I'm picking prime World of Sport Johnny Saint. Give me that.
Okay, so you want William Regal to show up here, or to kiss your ass and go, great pick or something. Okay.
Oh, I just want Johnny Saint to show up.
Yeah.
Because Johnny Saint's fucking amazing.
Yeah. I've seen some of his stuff from World of Sport and that type of thing.
It's just such good, just straight-laced catch-can wrestling. And you need a balance of that in a cruiserweight roster, because if it's just all high-flying, it just gets really repetitive.
It's neat, and I would enjoy seeing that crossed with like a Ricochet, just to see how the hell that would work.
Yep.
Just like one of those things where they used to do the greatest football teams ever on like ESPN. They'd have like 72 Dolphins take on like the, like 92 Cowboys or something like that.
Right.
They'd kind of just splice together the footage so it seemed like they were playing each other. Yeah. Okay, so for my number 3 pick, I'm going to go with non-CTE affected, still in Japan because his brain was still completely there, Chris Benoit. Wild Pegasus! Yeah, because, I mean, just what? It's... I'm not going to say it sucks that he murdered people.
You're not going to say it sucks that he murdered people?
Because that's a given. I don't have to restate this. And I think it actually makes light of it going, it's too bad he killed his family. No, it's unfortunate as wrestling historians that somebody who was so gifted at what he did that we basically have to put that away in this kind of, or we don't have to. That's the thing. We can still, we can and we can't, because you look back and you watch his style and you realize where the CTE came from, unfortunately.
Right.
But to watch him wrestle and to see his mat work and how Chris Benoit couldn't have a bad match. Like, he couldn't intentionally have a bad match. Like, that was just how good he was. He made everybody look good around him. He was stiff as hell, but he made matches look great. So, yeah, Benoit.
Okay.
Or as we refer to him on the WWE Network, name redacted.
All right, for my 4th pick, I'm going to go with the current reigning, defending, undisputed IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion Hiromu Takahashi.
Oh, well, you get Daryl too.
That's mainly why I took him. I would like a stuffed cat in my fold. Also that he's just so amazing. Like he's great. And I have him and Ospreay. So there's my main event every month. Thank you.
Okay.
I never get tired of it.
I get to have main events of, Eddie Guerrero and my number 4 pick, Rey Mysterio Jr., circa 1997.
God, oh, you're so old.
Please feel free to yawn at my selections, motherfucker.
It was just a well-timed yawn. Continue.
Yeah, I bet. It happened last week, too. Anyway. Ray, I remember watching him in Psychosis, who I won't put in my top 5, so I can throw him out there if by some chance JC wants to select him with his 5th pick. But
no, I already know who I'm picking.
The matches that Ray and Psychosis had in ECW, like, blew my mind. Like, I loved Liger, and Liger got me into junior heavyweight wrestling, and I enjoyed the kind of Japanese style, and I understood the concept of lucha was a little bit of flying or whatever, but what these two did was just completely off the charts. And I mean, Ray's always going to have that charisma. He still does. So yeah, go ahead.
All right, this is tough because there's a bunch of guys I want to pick. But if I'm going to end it here, I have to pick the reigning, defending, undisputed WWE Cruiserweight Champion Cedric Alexander. Because he's from Charlotte.
Which is like Raleigh. It's the same hometown.
It's his hometown, yeah. Because Cedric's just, one, he's such a good guy, and he's just so charismatic. And Cedric Alexander Will Ospreay match would be mind-blowing, I think.
All right, so since we seem to be keeping a time frame here, so I guess I'll keep this late 90s as well.
All right, yeah, stay old.
Yeah, because that's not when you got interested in wrestling.
No,
anyway.
I watched WWF. There were no such thing as cruiserweights.
So I will pick a WWF cruiserweight from the late 90s.
Okay. Gilbert.
And since my wife is watching, potentially, maybe she's asleep, maybe she just doesn't care, I will go with one Scott Taylor, a.k.a. Scotty 2 Hotty. Because I want that. The Worm.
Yeah, that's solid.
Because, I mean, y'all don't even know how over that was.
It was so over. It was stupid over.
It's so hard to comprehend now how over that damn move was.
Yeah. God, it was. It was great. I popped for it as a child. As a middle school child. Yeah. All right. We're going to add one more onto this. And then we're going to wrap it up.
Okay.
I have a sixth pick you're going to make, right? But your sixth pick is one person who is banned from your promotion for life. I'll do the same. I'll let you pick who's banned.
I like that. You throw this part, which I had no idea about.
Okay. I'll pick mine. Because if I'm going to keep it current era, fuck you, Ho-Ho Loon. Get the fuck out of here. When I was thinking about cruiserweights, I was thinking about the Cruiserweight Classic, and I was like, oh, that fucking guy existed. Remember he was on contract for a while? That was a fucking thing. Yeah, fuck you. Get out. You're terrible.
All All right, so I apparently have to pick a late '90s cruiserweight to ban.
It could be any cruiserweight. Oh, fuck. I know who I should have picked. Tom, it doesn't have to be a late 90s cruiserweight. There is one cruiserweight to pick right now.
Is it the realest guy in the room?
How you doing?
Is it the reigning rap star of unemployed wrestlers?
Is it the man who's not Bill Cosby, bitch?
How you doing?
Is it the man with the consensual penis?
How you doing? Yeah, let's just have a universal banning of Enzo Amore from our product.
That's fine. I'll take Ho Ho Lute if it means I will allow him in the promotion if it means Enzo is banned. Oh man, that was a fun bit. I like that.
We'll come up with more of those. I mean,
that went exactly as I thought it would, though. I was like, I'm over here trying to start PWG 2.0. And Tom's like, here's a network playlist.
And I'm going New Japan Best of the Super Juniors 1997.
Tom, I'm telling you, though, once we hit it big, man. Once we hit it big and we're rolling the cash, when we start that promotion out of Dorton.
Oh, yeah.
PWG 2.0.
There you go.
And I'm booking all these guys.
We'll bring a grandfather clock.
Fucking Walter's my champion. Just telling you right now.
In all caps.
Anything we left out? Errors and omissions? We're gonna pretend like this is part of the interruption now.
Yeah, no. I think.
Do you want Tony Reality to scream at you? All right, Tom, tell the people where they can find you on the internet.
Go on the Twitter machine at Mr. Workrate, at MR Workrate. Go to Instagram, find posts that I did 4 years ago because I really don't update it. Go on all the other things. I'm on Mr. Workrate on all these things. I don't know why people change their gamer tags on Xbox or PS4. If you want to be my friend on those things, feel free to friend me on those. I don't get to actually use them. That's why I'm sitting in my kid's room right now instead of where the Xbox or the PS4 are. So
when Fire Pro happens, we're going to have a tournament.
Yes. And I'll win it because I'm much better at it than you are. I'm
fucking terrible at button mashing games.
It's not a button mashing game.
It's pretty close. It's like if it's like 2K, if it's like 2K, it's a button mashing game.
It's not like 2K.
I suck at 2K.
Have you played?
I've never played a Fire Pro game.
Okay, so it's a timing game, but it's not a button mashing. It's not a button mashing game.
Tom, I specialize in FPSs. This is not going to go well for me.
Yeah. I'm gonna critical you.
That's fine. Bitch, I'll pull out my sleeper stimulant and fucking shoot you in the head like a giant robot space turtle.
You will get critical. You will lie in the middle of the ring. Your body will contort in a direction that is not humanly possible. The referee will look at you, shake its head, and then signal for the bell.
I'm going to rip out my Rat King with 5 of my closest guardians and 3-plate your ass.
We're playing a different game now, it appears.
We are. You can find me on the internet at JCBobbitt, JCBOBBITT, wherever final social media is purveyed. Apparently, I just talk about candy on Twitter now. Please come soon, hockey season. I did write an article this week for section328.com all about the positives of the draft. Did you write anything about the draft?
No, I have not yet. Derek wrote up a post about the Dougie Hamilton trade.
That is true.
We're going to show him all the museums.
Oh my God, so many museums. Tom, that's what we do when we get famous. We open a North Carolina wrestling museum.
The Hardys would donate like 80% of the stuff.
You think about everything that's happened in professional wrestling in North Carolina.
Yeah.
You could do a 2-room museum.
I've been to the Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame.
I have always wanted to go up for induction weekend.
I don't know where they moved it. I think to Texas now. I think it's like in Austin or something like that.
Still in Idaho or where the fuck it was before.
It was in, I want to say, upstate New York. I can't remember.
Oh, it's not Texas. I can't remember where it is. But
I don't know. But it was weird because there was like in this old building, but it had cases and cases of just, and I mean old stuff, not stuff from like the 90s or, there was the occasional 90s thing here and there, but I mean stuff from like the 60s and 50s and 70s.
Oh yeah, the Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame Museum is located in Wichita Falls, Texas. I'm thinking of the Lou Thez Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of the more, I think that's, the George Tragos Lou Thez Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame, which is attached to the National Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Okay.
So the Dan Gable Museum. That's the one I was thinking. Waterloo, Iowa. There we go. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Iowa. There's a reason to go to Iowa.
Yeah. Especially Waterloo. You can find the show on Twitter at CheatersNVRPin. You can find us on Twitch, twitch.tv/CheatersNVRPin. Find us on YouTube if you want to watch the show after the fact. YouTube.com. Just search Cheaters Never Pin. If you want to buy through Amazon, go to CheatersNeverPin.com, click the Amazon button on the front page, shop like normal, and give us your money. And then we have a Patreon too, where you can get the Drunk Cast coming soon.
Yes.
I think that does it, Tom.
I think that's it.
So next week, we'll be back with more on the road to the Extreme Rules.
And if you can think of another draft or something like that,
let us know. If not, I'll come up with one this time.
Yeah.
Another 5-round draft. I like that. Way better bit than the match exchange. Way less thought required.
Yeah. We don't have to look for dead people.
Yep.
Even though I picked one.
True. 2. Guerrero and
2. Yeah, 2.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Jesus.
Way to bring us down.
Yep. So on that note, I'm JC.
I'm Tom.
And we'll catch you on the flip side. Clear.
Thanks for the downer, Jason.
Dude, it'd been so long since I ended the show on a fucking downer note. It's been like a year and a half. Which is literally as long as we've been doing the show, so that makes no sense.
No. We were talking about thinking of doing a show, and you just told me about dead people for some reason.
Yeah. What are we naming this one? I actually thought of it this time since we talked about it. I called it Dogbite Edition on the Twitch stream, but...
There you go. Just leave it at that. Otherwise, we have to think of something.
Yeah, I like that. Alrighty. Oh. Okay. Yeah, this is the one I always think of because this is the one that Meltzer and God damn it, what's his name from the Torch? Keller. Always talk about the Waterloo. I think that's kind of the major one. The other one, this one has this very small like actual place. It's more of like the honorary of like you were in the Hall of Fame. The other one may be more of a like a physical presence.
This was just, it was less of a Hall of Fame and more of like a museum of stuff. Again, it was like damn buddy. It was like ring robes from people.
I was putting the SD card in the back of my iMac.
Just a whole bunch of random paraphernalia and like posters from 40s and stuff like that. So, and hopefully the place in Texas, again, the place in New York was like just an old building, so a lot of the stuff just seemed kind of aged. And
yeah, you know what I never knew existed until like fucking a month ago.
What's that?
I have no clue how I never knew about it. WWE Niagara Falls.
Oh, I only knew about that because
it may have been that it was mentioned on
Pritchard was
show.
Talking about it.
But I was like, that was a thing, and it had a fucking like drop zone thrill ride.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to see them have like a physical presence, but it's it's still so niche, dude.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, when there was all that talk about them building, like, the Hall of Fame and restaurant at City Walk at Universal, I was like, I would go to Orlando for that. Like, I legit would if there was a legit, like, Hall of Fame with stuff to see. Like, that would be cool as shit as a wrestling fan.
Like, do they think that's going to make the WrestleMania Access and all that type of stuff less special?
No, I think they realize that as much as the WWE brand, whether people are a fan or not, is such a well-recognized brand, that the product itself, especially the history of the product, is such a niche thing. Because even casual fans don't care that much about the history like you and I would, right?
Right.
Because I would love to walk in there and if they were like, okay, this month's exhibit is, here's the fucking history of the territories. Like, that shit would be fucking dope. Like, yo, here's the belt from the California territory, and here's a whole fucking section with Gagne's shit, and here's a whole section with Crockett, and like, I would lose my mind because that would be so cool to see. Which is why, you know, they kind of do that with the Access stuff for the Hall of Fame, because they know that's such a hardcore audience, right?
Right.
But there needs to be like and it would be hard to do, but even if you could get all the promotions just to say, look, we're all building this thing together, we're all going to revenue share it. It's the professional wrestling. It's the United States Professional Wrestling Hall, or, you know, museum. Because they've all got enough pieces of stuff in their legacy where they can get, I mean, everything. WWE has the vast majority of it.
So WWE is going to have to be the person behind it.
Yeah, I mean, they could do it on their own, but like, I'm sure if they were like, yo, Ring of Honor, you know, and TNA, or, you know, Impact, you know, we want this to be for the business, by the business, like, contribute some stuff. I'm sure they'd be willing to do it, you know? Because it's brand exposure. It doesn't cost them a dime. They're not operating it.
Yeah.
God, it'd be cool, though.
But then the question is, would Vince ever have it? Because then you're promoting somebody else's promotion.
Exactly. I could see Hunter doing it at some point. Yeah. The other question is, where the fuck do you put it, right? Like, Orlando makes sense. It's a tourist destination. New York makes sense. It's close to WWE offices, and it's a tourist destination. You know, you can make an argument for, well, Charlotte or Atlanta. Like, when you think about WCW or Crockett, as big as they were, there's an argument there.
Yeah. I don't see if WWE is going to be the spearhead behind it, they're not going to put it there. They're going to put it in the Northeast.
It's their Orlando.
Put it in Orlando because at least that they can piggyback off of, like, NXT and Full Sail and that kind of area.
God, that'd be so cool. Especially they could have, like, you know, I don't know if you want to call it like guest lectures or whatever, but like have a superstar come in, you know, like a Hall of Famer come in and talk for an hour and just tell stories.
I mean, they've got like a lot of these guys on these Legends contracts. It gives them something to do.
Yeah. And then, you know what? Even, like, obviously, if I live in North Carolina, I can't make it to Orlando to see every, like, guest lecture. But, like, let me pay $20 a month to be a member of or an extra $10 a month onto my network subscription. Fuck it. To be a member to your historical society and watch all these lectures online. Like, that would be cool as hell.
Just Tony Atlas talking for 3 hours straight.
I would want $10, not give them $10 extra, right? All right, buddy. I'm going to get a show edited and get it put up. Let you get to rest.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching tonight. We appreciate it.
We do.
Anyone's coming to Raw in Greensboro, holla at your boy. I'll be there. August.
It's your boy.
Smash that subscribe button.
Have you seen there's and I haven't gotten a chance to watch it yet. I only watched like the first like 2 minutes of it, and it starts off. But apparently, Adult Swim did another like Too Many Cooks type thing,
What?
and I knew nothing about it except it's made by the same people.
What do you mean too many cooks kind of thing?
You don't remember the Too Many Cooks video?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do. It was,
Okay, well, the same people made that. They threw another 4 a.m. kind of thing out.
it was
And all I know is it starts off with a guy basically on his YouTube channel starting to talk like this. So
it's your boy.
I don't know,
Jesus.
but I will link you to it later on.
Yeah.
And I need to actually watch it because it seems like the type of thing that I probably can't watch at work.
That was the one that was like the bad 90s sitcom intro that kept going and going and going, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah. It took me a second. I haven't seen it in so long, and it's not like I've thought about it since I probably saw it. I'll look for it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, brother.
All right, man.
Have a good night. People on Twitch, have a good night. We're all going to hang up now all at the same time.
Yeah.
All right. Good night.
Good night.